It might sound weird, but something I've struggled with for a long time is when people say things like, enjoy your life, make the most of your life, live every day like it's your last. But I've always wondered, how are you supposed to do that when it seems like most of life involves doing things you don't want to do? I mean, that might sound super negative, but I mean, think about it. Just to exist, you have to go to work, buy groceries, cook food, clean your home, pay the bills, do laundry, run errands. Life has a lot of boring parts to it. And when you really look at how we spend our time, it feels like most of life is spent doing things we don't want to do just so that we can afford the small amount of time to do things we actually enjoy. Is that really all there is to life? How are you supposed to enjoy your life when most of your life is doing things that aren't enjoyable? I mean, the concept of having a really exciting and fulfilling life seems easy when you think about things like traveling or adventure or doing exciting things. But what about Sunday night when you know you have to go to work the next morning, you've made dinner, now you have to wash the dishes, and it's time to go to bed? Those moments make up a majority of our lives. So what does it really mean to enjoy your life? And I've thought a lot about this and I couldn't come up with a solution. Because you can't just spend the same amount of time doing boring stuff as doing fun stuff, because there just isn't enough time in the day. You have to go to work for 8 hours, you have to sleep for 8 hours, you have to spend at least a few hours doing other things to maintain your life. So you have a few hours left over to do fun stuff. It's still a massive imbalance. So that's not the answer. So is life just something we tolerate most of the time while we're waiting for these small moments of enjoyment? Can't be just that. I don't think it has to be, but I think a lot of us actually do exist that way. I did for a long time. So what I've been trying to do recently is cultivate a few good habits that have enabled me to start enjoying my life now as it is, even though things aren't perfectly the way I want them and life has a lot of boring aspects to it still, but I am able to enjoy life more now. So I want to talk about these 3 habits. The first one is get away from screens. Screens are everywhere in our lives today, whether it's your phone, your computer, your tablet, your TV. A lot of us spend 8 hours a day working on a computer, and then we come home and we sit in front of a TV to relax, and we jump on our phone every chance we get. If you're anything like me, you have this unhealthy compulsion to pull out your phone every idle moment you have. Or especially when I'm eating, I love to watch YouTube. We've trained ourselves to be constantly consuming, whether it's social media, news, podcasts, videos, short form content. It's constant. And when you're constantly consuming, constantly distracted, you lose the ability to enjoy life in the small ways. Something as simple as drinking your morning coffee. People don't drink coffee anymore. They watch YouTube while drinking coffee, right? But try this sometime. Just drink your coffee. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the taste and the smell and the feeling of the warm cup in your hand. And notice this moment you have to relax and decompress and think. Your thoughts will come back because you're not suppressing them with all this distraction. Even if you just drink your coffee and stare at the wall, if you don't know what to do, just stare at the wall and just see what thoughts come to your mind. You might have a great idea. You might realize there's something in your life you don't like and you want to change it. I know it sounds ridiculously simple and maybe a little weird to just sit and drink coffee and do nothing, but you'll start to notice things. When you live your life staring at screens, real life starts happening in the background and you're missing a lot. So one of the simplest ways to start enjoying your life more right now is to stop filling every spare moment with screen time, particularly your phone. It's obviously the worst one because it's so easy and it's always on you. Just try and have a few moments in the day where you're just present and experiencing the moment. The second habit I'm trying to cultivate is stop worrying about the things you can't control. The world is not short of things to worry about, whether it's nuclear war, climate change, economic collapse. The news cycle is designed to keep you constantly thinking about problems that are way bigger than you. And all those problems are outside of your control. There is nothing or very little you can do. And you worrying about them obviously doesn't change the outcome. Stop thinking about it. Stop talking about it. Stop watching newsreels about it. Stop giving it energy, because you only have a limited amount and you need to spend it on things that will help you. I remember about 4 years ago, there was this worry that China was going to go to war with Australia. I don't really remember why, but I was really worried about it. I was watching every news article I could I was actually trying to look for reasons why it would be okay. Like maybe China won't attack us, and maybe if they do, we'll be fine and we'll be able to defend ourselves. And I got so worried about it. And then it just went away. Nothing happened. And I got so stressed out. And after that happened, I was just like, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to spend that much of my energy on something that I cannot control. Worrying about things that you can't control is only going to make you anxious. And anxiety robs you of joy. It takes you out of the present moment, has you worrying about the future, a future that hasn't happened and probably won't happen. So stop worrying about it. The third thing is a little bit different to the first two. It's have a plan, take action, and then relax. So I used to spend a lot of time beating myself up for not being where I expected to be by a certain age. And I've always been someone who's trying to do a million things at once, trying to work on 10 different projects, always trying to think of ways to make money and get ahead in the world. And the problem is, even when I'm doing all the work, I'm working really hard, I'm making good decisions, I'm following my plan, I would still beat myself up for not being where I thought I would be by a certain age. Or I would compare myself to other people and go, they're doing that, I should be able to do that. They make this much money, I should be able to make that much money. Now I have a plan for what I'm working on, what I want for the future, the life I want to build. So I have my plan, I take action on that plan every day. And after I've taken the action and it's the end of the day, I relax. I've done the work for the day and I trust the process and I relax. And progress happens through consistent action over a long period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. And beating yourself up for not being where you thought you would be doesn't do anything for your progress. So just relax. So those are the three things I'm trying to do. And it is really helping me to enjoy my life more. And there's something else I've learned. I'm 30 years old now. And what I've noticed is life is really unpredictable. It almost never turns out the way you expect. It sometimes turns out better and it sometimes turns out worse, but it never happens the way you think it will. And because of that, it's a massive mistake to tell yourself, I will enjoy my life when I accomplish this, or I'll be happy when I make this much money, or I'll relax and do things I enjoy when I have time. Because life doesn't work that way. There's always going to be another problem that you have to solve. There's always going to be another priority. Could be something you haven't even considered, another responsibility, another challenge. And if you're waiting for your situation to improve before you start enjoying your life, there's a real chance you're going to miss out completely. In fact, I think if you can't find ways to enjoy your life now, just the way it is, in your current situation, I think you're in for a really harsh reality check later on, because happiness doesn't just appear suddenly. I think it's a gradual process, and it's the result of making good decisions and forming good habits in the past that allow you to be happy now. And that's really what these three habits allow you to do. They help you to break out of the cycle of dopamine addiction, distraction, and constant stress. Get away from the screens, stop worrying about stuff that you can't control. And when you do all that, you start to notice that there's actually a lot of joyful moments in life. small moments, and they're happening all the time. It could be the feeling of the sun on your skin, watching your two dogs play with each other and seeing how happy they are. These small things are happening around us all the time, and I think we're just missing them. It's not that life is completely horrible all the time. I think it's that we're not seeing the good things sometimes. The truth is, we don't have as much control over our life as we think we do. Plans change, situations change, unexpected things happen, but there's something we always have access to, and that's the present moment. And if we're always waiting for the future to come before we start enjoying life, we might miss the only thing that was ever guaranteed in the first place, the fact that we only have right now. So enjoy it.